Hey Palians! I am going to share a couple of the tips and tricks that I have run across with the new ranching ability in Palia. I'm not going to get into explaining what all it is and such because there's already a lot of videos that go over that, but I am going to let you know what I've been doing in order to level as quickly as I can and some of the things that I've noticed. Um, so to get started, my current level is 7. I should be able to hit 8 today, possibly 9. If I'm able to stay on top of it, definitely. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to hit 8 today and probably 9 either later this evening, like later tonight or tomorrow. But when I've been looking through videos, I haven't seen anybody saying this. So let me go ahead and tell you a few things. So if you don't know already and you see that little icon, that just means that while they were growing up, they got a new trait. There's cookies. If for some reason you don't want them to get a random trait while they're growing up, you can feed them a cookie that keeps that from happening. I haven't really run into a situation where I need that, but so earlier today, I quickly bought some new cows and I didn't have enough time to feed them, so I'm going to go ahead and feed these ones now. And because the amount of time it's been since I bought them, they have already, uh, their new in town timer is up. So this is the first time I've seen one with 5 traits. That's nice. So this cow here, it doesn't have anything particularly that interests me, and most of the ones that I buy are not going to because I'm being very picky. Um, my goal is to level up as quickly as possible so I can get the max amount of animals I can have and so that I can get everything unlocked before I jump into breeding. Once I get to level 9 or 10, then I'm going to go ahead and start getting more breeding focused. But so right now, what I do is I go ahead and buy them with the expectation that almost all of them are going to get donated as soon as their timer runs out. So I'm going to name this guy Donate to help me not mix them up with the few animals that I do keep. And the first tip I have for you is when you read the breeding book, it tells you that it doesn't matter if you give your animal meals or veggies to eat. Now, let me go grab some veggies real quick and show you the difference when you first buy a new baby, or if your animal has a significant amount of food that is needed, it does definitely make a difference. So this is the first time I'm doing it with a cow. I've been doing it with a pig in the past. Um, but so to show you this, if I feed this cow just these tomatoes. So it needs 400 food, which this is also their focus. So the amount that you are feeding them, that focus is going to determine how much it's going up by. Um, 39 happiness, 157 out of 400 food. So I'm going to go ahead and see how much we're going to get from just tomatoes. So I made a mistake. So that's a good thing to show you. Don't ever feed your animals before filling up your focus bar. If your focus is not up and you feed or pet them, you will only get 1 XP. And I did that to an entire group of animals once without realizing it, and I cried a little inside. But yeah, so don't do that. That was 1 XP. That would have been 2. Let me see if we give another tomato how much it's going to give us. Yeah, so that would have been 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, and that's it. Yep, 36 XP for that. So now I'm going to go to one of my other cows that has the same amount of food missing and everything and show you the better way to do it. So let me pet this guy, get my 19 XP from that. And I'm going to go to my other pen. So that was 36, unless my short-term memory loss is hitting me. Now, I haven't tested this with the cows. I did it a lot with the pigs. So it'll be interesting to see if it is the same with the cows. So I do have this kind of cool looking one. I haven't had any that look like that yet. So I'm going to name it Donate. I'm going to pet it. And now this time I'm going to give it a full meal. And I'm going to give it a meal that can fully fill up that XP bar. So when I give a burger 47 XP, a full 11 points of XP that I would have lost if I continued to feed with just vegetables like the guide tells you. So this is the only place where I have seen a difference in um, a benefit between feeding a meal and feeding the veggies. And I only have seen it with babies. And the reason for that is because of how slowly the food for adults goes down. Um, you have to wait for it to get significantly low to feed it and get a good amount of XP again. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with all of these cows. I'm going to give them their meal. It's also faster to do it with the meal. And you're going to save your veggies and use those for cooking. So I'm just going to put those back because I'm not even going to use them again. So I saw somebody complaining that we need more crop plots, which I agree. I would love more crop plots, but because they need to feed their animals all these veggies, they were saying we need to have more crop plots too. But if you do it this way, then you really don't need to do some cooking parties and you'll be good. Um, so we're going to go ahead and sometimes you get a cow that has bigger stomach and then you get even more XP, which is really nice. I had that happen earlier where a cow needed 480 and that gave me some extra, which was nice, but I haven't gotten many of those. This is Princess. Isn't she cute? She's amethyst and sparkly, so I'm keeping her. Thankfully, most of the animals I've gotten right now are just brown and boring, so it hasn't been too difficult to part with them. My husband has gotten some like pinks and purples that I've been very jealous about, but the less animals that you hold on to, the more you're going to maximize your XP per real life day or per hour, whatnot. And that's what I recommend. So right now I'm holding on to 6 animals and donating the rest. So I'm gonna come over here since they're new in town. Timers are up, and I'm gonna all the ones that I've named as donate. I'm gonna go ahead. And the other benefit of this is you're gonna have a bajillion cookies, more than you need. But this is gonna help build up your cookie stash for when you actually start your breeding. So right now, when you get to level 5, if you're not sure about this yet, you do get an extra 10 animals. I'm hoping that when I hit level 8, I'll get it again. But we're all kind of still figuring that out. I don't know anybody that has hit 8 yet, and so we'll know in a little bit. But yeah, so now I have, ooh, I got some purple bags from that. I haven't really gotten those very often. Probably because I'm selling cows. This is the first time I've donated cows. That's the slow way to open them. But look at this. I've got 46 here, 16 here. So I'm like, and then in my box, I've got all those cookies. And then some are named Biscuit. And the other ones, I think Treat. And then Snack. Yeah. So there's 4 different names. Hoping that they give us a category that helps sort those better. If you're not already aware, when you're looking for specific treats, the shapes help give you a clue on what they're going to cover. So um, these ones I've been using on my adults to increase their happiness so that they will produce faster because you do get a nice amount of XP when you get to gather from them. But to explain a few reasons why I'm doing this like this, in a minute I'm going to buy more cows. But I've had her for over a day, like a day and a half, I think. Let me think. Today's Saturday. No, I have had her since Wednesday when this all began. Um, so in that time, I have gotten eggs from her once. I also had to use I think it was a rare version of the quick grow cookie. So she was full grown by Thursday, but had I not been able to give her that cookie, she would still be a baby. Um, I haven't figured out how long it takes them to grow up yet without a cookie. I haven't had the patience to wait on that. Plus, I've been focusing on this leveling. But from her being an adult since Thursday, I've gotten to get 4 eggs from her, which was me harvesting one time. Once this gets to 1, I should be able to harvest again. Her multiplier is 5%, and that's with me giving her a cookie to help increase production. So the amount of time that it takes for them to let you gather resources and get XP from that is very, very slow. Also, their food bar goes down very, very slowly. So I have to wait for them to get pretty low with food. If it's not under 90, I usually don't get any XP for feeding them. I'm going to go ahead and test it at 85 and see what I get, if anything. Okay, so that's sad, right? 85 to 100 was 2 XP. That's so I'm probably not going to feed them until they get down to like, I don't know, 450 at least and see how much. But it takes a really long time to get there. I haven't fed her. I didn't feed her at all yesterday. I think the last time I fed her was Thursday when I was testing it out. And you can use cookies to keep their happiness up. So adults are not good for XP, is my point in all of that. I've got little blue here. He's getting a little close. I gave him snacks to increase his production. It's still slow. I'm not going to feed him now that I know that's only going to give me 2 XP. Violet here. I've had her little over 24 hours and haven't gotten to get anything from her yet. She has pal snacks. Um, she's a little low on her food. Let's see what we get from her. 3. Not worth it. Okay, so that's my point, is that adults are not worth holding on to while you're trying to level. Your leveling is going to be much slower if you are stocking up on adults. So I have these 3 guys in here, and then I have Princess, and I think, where's Legend at? Did I sell Legend? I don't know where Legend is, but I kept him because he has a legendary skill, which is pretty nice. However, the sensitive stomach skill, watch out for that because um, poor Legend was completely depressed because I was feeding him when he was a baby and I maxed out his food. And then I tried to give him some happiness cookies because I want him to be producing as soon as possible when he gets to an adult. Well, because he had a full stomach, even though cookies do not give food, it still counted as him overeating and he got very sad instead. And I gave him 2 cookies before I realized what was going on. And so he had a very sad cloud over his head and it was depressing. So watch out for that sensitive stomach. I've considered selling him just because that's there, but I'll probably breed him and see if I can't get rid of that. I also have, this is my next legendary one. Since this helps with production, I'm keeping it for now. So I should rename him. So these are the 6 that I am keeping. Princess and Violets for their colors. Harlequin I would get rid of, but they're my only 2 adults, so I'm gonna keep them. Um, and I think what I'm gonna do before I buy any, I don't think I have 2 adults, do I? 2 adult pigs. Let me see. Where was Legend? Was he still in the baby pen? Yeah, Legend is still a baby, so I can't breed my pigs, but I can go ahead and breed my chickens. So the breeding, you can breed your adults, I believe, 2 times a day. You do not get any XP from actually breeding them. Yeah, okay, that's him. I don't know what I'm gonna... Chaco. I'm gonna keep him for now, put a heart on him. And we have Princess. Oh, there's Legend. Yeah, Legend was the sad piggy. Anyways, that was a sidetrack. Sorry about that. So, for our breeding, we'll go ahead and do Harlequin and Blue. I bred them once yesterday. You can breed them about twice a day let's look at the timer. So 17 hours, you can't even do it twice a day. You can only breed them once a day. But it is still beneficial to breed them once a day because the babies are not going to have a new in town timer. So he got the frosted tips in the blue, which are pretty nice. But this loner skill is not ideal because he has to be the only one of his breed in order to 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 produce faster. So to me, that's kind of a wasted skill slot. I'm not sure what the max skills is, but now we know that there's at least 5. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna feed him and I'm gonna pet him. I don't know what the chickens would get if I fed them veggies. I didn't, when I was doing just my chickens, I hadn't realized that yet. The pigs, if you feed them just veggies, then they will only get 16 XP. And if you feed them a meal, you will get 23 XP or more because if their stomach is bigger or sometimes it glitches or something. And I've been able to feed them more than one meal, which has been nice when that happens. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and sell him since babies do not have the new in town. So we'll go ahead and donate him. And now I'm going to buy 14 cows. So let's go ahead and go down here. If you're low on money, I suggest going to the paliaparty.app and sign up for some parties and you will not be short on money. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and grab 14 of these guys. And now we'll start feeding them. Before this, I cooked up some of these burgers with a friend, and so that I'm all ready. When I did this last night is when late last night is when I unlocked the cows, and that got me to just those 14 cows got me to about a fourth of the way through level 7. So I'm hoping this gets me to at least halfway. And then what I will do is my new in town is an hour and 40 minutes. From what I've seen, it's anywhere from an hour and 40 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. When I went a little while without donating, I had this one time where the timer was only an hour. That was very nice, but that's only happened one time and I'm not sure why that was. But so I'm going to set my timer for an hour and 41 minutes to help me remember to come back and do this real quick. It doesn't take long. So let's feed and pet and we'll see when I'm done with all of these where my XP bar gets to. And I will not buy any more pigs or chickens until I start breeding them, since I'm going to get my most XP from these cows until I get to level 9. Then I'll see how much XP I get from the bees. I assume it's going to be more than the cows, but we'll see when we get there. Oh, this one looks different. So when I get the bees, if they are higher, then I will only buy bees until I get to level 10. So once I get to level 10, I'm hoping that the limit of animals will be 40, but we don't know yet. Right now I can have 20. Once I hit level 5 is when that increased, and I'm hoping when I get to level 8, I'll get another 10. Hoping, because that would be amazing for that, because I'm sure the XP goes up, XP requirement goes up a little each time. So this is, oh, you are pretty. Oh gosh. I think we might have to keep this cow. I don't know. I'm gonna name her Rainbow for right now, or him. I don't really like that they don't have assigned sexes, but I guess it makes it a little easier for breeding that way, so won't complain too much, but it's kind of weird. Because I never know what to feed them. I mean, not feed them, name them. But yeah, we've got another little blue guy who's grumpy. But yeah, when it's time to donate, I'll decide if I want to keep her, but I like the iridescent. That's cool. Haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, so if you're doing this, then every 2 hours or less, you're going to be able to get a lot of XP. So it is going to speed up your progress a lot faster. If you don't do this and you just let your animals become adults and wait on feeding and petting them, your leveling is going to be much slower. So it is completely obviously up to you and how you want to play the game. But if you are focused on leveling like me, I highly suggest you adopt these principles. So look at me. Over halfway. Where's my... Way over halfway. So it's very possible that I will hit 8 with my next round in 2 hours. If that's the case, I'll be very happy. I will definitely hit 8 in the next 4 hours. And then, depending on how significant the XP requirement to get to level 9 is, who knows, maybe we'll get to 9 today. It's a weekend, so I have the time to put into selling them over and over. But yeah, so hopefully you can see the significant difference in doing it this way. The update came out Wednesday. Today is Saturday. So we're 4 days in and I'm level 7. I'm going to be level 8 by the end of the day. Probably definitely 9 tomorrow and probably 10 by Monday at the very latest. Hopefully I'll be 10 by tomorrow. So yeah, I would have been further along had I started doing this from the beginning, but we all had to kind of figure things out. The only things I don't know yet is how long does it take for a baby to grow up. I'll probably, when I get to breeding, have an experiment chicken and cow and so on, and just time it without any cookies, then with the base cookie and so on, and try to get those timers down. I think that is just about everything that I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, and I'll try to make more videos about the breeding as I learn more things and any other tips for you guys. All right, have a good one.